Hey, it's Scott. I've got my November Craft Brew Club shipment. It's $39 a month, and they send you 12 beers in this big old box here. This is the, they're back to doing actual cardboard to hold the bottles in there. As you can see, I've got 4 different beers, 2 different breweries, and there's 3 of each that is included in the box. So, they send you a brewery news for each brewery, which is kind of cool. I'll talk about some cool points that I saw in there. This one, they also included some encouragement for you to get this as a gift for somebody for the holidays. Anyways, really enjoy their service, and this month is a great example of kind of why the service is cool. So first we'll talk about Adirondack Pub and Brewery. So they are located in New York. And the guy went to Europe and basically fell in love with beer and couldn't find any of the good quality beer here, so he started brewing for about 10 years by himself, and then decided that he wanted to open a brewery. And their brewery actually looks pretty sweet. It'd be like one of those places if I drove by, I totally would want to go check it out. It's kind of got an old log style cabin look to it, and they serve food there. But it's in Lake George Village, New York. And was founded in 1999, which also the other brewery we'll talk about was also founded in 1999. So they've been brewing for a while, but they actually just recently started bottling. So the bottles here are kind of hard to see unless you actually feel them, but it feels almost like they printed it on a computer and slapped the label on here. Not terrible, not really going to complain. It does have some sweet graphic design into it, so the pictures do look really good. It's just the label is kind of flimsy and falling off here, but we're not here to talk about the bottle, are we? So first beer I'm going to be drinking is going to be their Bare Naked Ale. It actually has won 6 gold medals, and just different, it says various contests, but it's 5% ABV, it's an amber ale, and it's 30 IBUs. So I really do like ambers. They're kind of what got me bridged into dark beer, but it's not really pouring much of an amber. This is a very, a pale ale would actually be comparable in color. Light copper is really what I would say. It says it's medium body with a high proportion of Munich malt, and it says it has a toasty, fruity backbone and a brilliant copper hue. That's relatively accurate. Very malty, not very hoppy. It actually is 30 IBUs, which is 5 IBUs higher than the pale ale that I'll be talking about next. But it does taste like an amber. It doesn't really look like an amber, but very good beer. Really easy drinking, enjoyable. It doesn't have a lot of character to it, but when you drink an amber, you're kind of expecting something that fits in that category, and this definitely fits in it very well. It has that malty backbone and character to keep you drinking it and enjoying it for a while. So next they've got the Dirty Blonde Pale Ale. One thing that they do is all their beers are actually named or inspired after the rich history of the Adirondacks. So this is apparently named after all the summer flings that would happen on Lake George. I'm sure the brewer has a story behind that. But the pale ale here is 25 IBU, 4.6 ABV, and it actually says it's a pale wheat ale, which I didn't see on the bottle. It just says pale ale, so I don't really smell much wheatness to it. That might be labeled incorrectly. It's very weird for a pale ale. One of the things that they talk about on here is it's Cascade and Centennial dry hops, which those hops in conjunction usually provide a very bitter beer, but a lot of the grapefruit aroma and citrus flavor. I definitely get the grapefruit aroma, but I didn't really get much of the citrus. I can taste a little bit of the citrus in it, but it's not very pronounced. But it's kind of a weird pale ale taste going on. It's, rather than it being very smooth and easy drinking, which a lot of pale ales are, it's got like a weird tang, hoppy bite to it. I wouldn't say I would enjoy drinking a couple of bottles of this. One might be enough for me. The amber, on the other hand, I could drink probably a 6-pack of and still thoroughly enjoy it. Might be bored by the 6th beer, but still enjoy the beer itself. So anyways, that's Adirondack Pub and Brewery. Honestly, if I ever was in the area, I definitely would feel like checking them out, just because this Bare Naked Ale shows that they have a very good capability of brewing a good beer. So next we have River Brewing. They're from Illinois. Again, they started in 1999. They've got a red brick building that is considered historic. And let me find out which. It's Moline, Illinois, and it was a historic building that they went through and renovated, and they actually have expanded, and it seems like their brewery has taken off locally in the area. So their labeling is definitely on there like a normal bottle label you would expect from any brewery, most likely because they've been bottling for a while. But first I'm going to talk about the Paddle Wheel Pale Ale. It's another American Pale Ale. It's 5.9 ABV and 26 IBU. Just for comparison, it is 1.3% ABV stronger and only 1 IBU more bitter. Pretty dark for a pale ale. For comparison, we've got a dark copper and basically a golden color from the last one. The amber actually is even lighter than this pale ale. So it says it's a full-bodied pale ale, which I'm guessing is the strong malt backbone. It says it's a copper amber color, definitely. I'd argue dark copper, but it has spicy herbal grassy hop aromas. I definitely smell the spiciness. Just good. It's smooth caramel malt flavor. Definitely has a whole lot of malt backbone to it, which a lot of pale ales sometimes lack, especially California style pale ales. They'll hit you with hops and not really leave much backbone from the malt. This is actually kind of the opposite. There's a whole lot of malt in it, just a little bit of hops. And it says it's got a great balance. I would argue it probably isn't balanced as well as it could be. Again, the stronger malt character is why it has such a higher alcohol content, but only a little bit of IBU increase. They probably could have added, I don't say a lot more hops, but they definitely could have added more hops to it in order to balance out the strong malty character that it has, especially if you're going for the style of pale ale. But not a bad beer. If this was classified as a pale ale at the brewery and I tried it, I probably would consider it more of an amber. One thing is it just goes back and forth because you got a little bit of hop bitterness and the malty backbone, but there's no really bridge between the two. They're almost two separate characters within the beer. Alright, so lastly I'm going to talk about the Uncommon Stout. I am very excited for this beer. Again, I love stouts. So it's an oatmeal stout, 6.5 ABV and 28 IBU. So it is their flagship ale. It is apparently super popular at the brewery. And it's a coffee-infused oatmeal stout. Don't really have to say too much. It probably is going to pour very dark, which it does. I don't want to say espresso in color. It's got a brown hue to it, but whew, that coffee is strong. So before I drink this, I'm going to talk about how I would assume that they do the coffee flavor with it. Most breweries, when they do coffee infused, what that means is they take the beer and once they're done heating it up and they're going to put it in the fermenter, while the wort is still hot, they will filter it through coffee grounds. Now, again, I haven't been to the brewery, so I can't confirm that they do it this way, but a lot of breweries do it that way, and it is, to me, it adds a lot of good characters of the coffee into it, mainly because it takes a lot of the coffee flavors that you get from when you drink from spent coffee grounds. So we'll see how this stands up. Wow. Very, very strong coffee flavor. For comparison, I'll talk about the Java Stout because it's probably the most common distributed coffee stout from the Santa Fe Brewing Co. It is probably as coffee forward as it is, but it doesn't have a lot of that malty, strong backbone to it. Again, that is 8 ABV, and this is only 6.5. Still a very, very good beer. The coffeeness of it really doesn't really stick too long with you, which is good. Sometimes you get a lot of that bitterness, just like when you're drinking coffee and you taste a lot of bitterness on the back end. So if you like coffee and you like stouts, guarantee you'll love this. It doesn't have any chocolate flavors that you'll usually get from some stouts or coffee stouts, but that's good to me. Sometimes that's a character that they try to just force in to a coffee stout when they really don't need it to exist and it stands by itself. So very impressed with the beer, actually. I'm very excited to have those. So overall, I'm going to say that I'm very excited for the beers that I got. To me, totally worth my $39, mainly because it seems like I might be able, if I go to Illinois, which probably will not anytime soon, I might be able to find these distributed a couple counties away from where they're at. Whereas these, I'm probably not even going to be able to find them unless I'm in the same county as the brewery, because they're relatively new. They haven't even been able to distribute to downstate New York. I believe that's what they said here. Yeah, downstate New York. They're trying to get that far, so they're not even distributed outside of their home state, which that's exactly why you buy a subscription like this, to get beers that you can't get access to. So very, very happy. It's kind of the polar opposite of the last subscription, or last 4 beers that they sent me. Well, I'm not very impressed with the 2 pale ales. I will drink them. They're not going to be something I'm going to just discard and throw away, which throwing away beer is a travesty. But overall, the beers that they sent me were very good. Definitely a wide swath of things. Even though they sent me 2 pale ales, they're 2 completely different pale ales, which was nice to have them next to each other just to try. So anyways, again, I'm going to mention, totally worth my $39 that I spent. I'm excited to show you guys more. Hopefully I'll have a beer nerd by my side to kind of give me another impression of the beer that I might not be able to describe as well to you. Hopefully I can find somebody. I've got a few people that I've tried to include that have opposite opinions of beer as me, so they might really enjoy something that I hate or hate something I enjoy. That way you guys get a different opinion. I also have 2 other beer subscriptions that I have found for you guys that I have 1 box waiting for me to review right now, and I will show that to you guys very soon and give you guys kind of a wider swath of different things that exist out there for you guys that are beer nerds like me. Alright, thanks again guys for watching. If there's anything else that's out there you'd like me to review, or if you'd like me to just review some random beers, I do live in Nevada, actually Las Vegas, so if there's any breweries that are somewhere near me, I would be more than happy to shoot a video for you guys talking about some of their beer. If you guys have heard of Joseph James, Craft House, which is new, Bad Beat, those are actually really close to me, and I can definitely check them out, or any other Henderson breweries. And there's a whole lot of other stuff that's out here that I can grab, try it for you guys, and see if it might be worth your bucks. Alright, thanks for watching guys.